What's going on YouTube? I want to welcome you guys to the channel. My name is Fareed and this is going to be the first episode of the Cardano Scoop. Now here I'm going to be covering Cardano ecosystem news on a weekly basis. And so if that interests you, make sure to tap that like button. If this is your first time visiting the channel, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions at all during any of today's video, make sure to leave a comment down in the section below. Now, if this is your first time running across the channel, I aim to cover the latest when it comes to tutorials, news, and reviews within the Cardano ecosystem. And so without any further ado, in today's video, we've got quite a bit of information that I want to cover surrounding the MELD Bank Manager NFTs, the growing Cardano ecosystem, the Cornucopias metaverse project, and then at the very end of this video, I want to talk a little bit about the JPG.store marketplace, which just had a test mint directly on their platform. And so let's go ahead and jump straight into it. First things first, the MELD Bank Manager NFTs. So if you guys are not familiar with MELD, they are going to be a DeFi banking protocol launching on the Cardano blockchain. Now, with that said, we saw the MELD project launch at the end of this past January. And since then, the MELD team has been working on the Akamai bridge. They've currently they've currently released the first version of the MELD app, which is currently available. And you can actually stake right now using their platform. Now, if you participated in their ISPO and you delegated for at least one or more epochs, you're now going to be eligible to earn a Bank Manager NFT. Now, with that said, we actually saw the MELD team recently release a tweet on July 11th. And so if you guys are not already following the MELD Labs Twitter account, I'll leave a link down in the description to that, and I highly recommend that you do that in order to stay updated when it comes to the latest surrounding the MELD project. Now, with that, we saw this tweet actually announce the fact that the MELD team would be collaborating with the Freeloaders platform in order to actually distribute their NFTs. And so here it says, we're excited to announce our partner in the coming distribution of our Bank Manager NFT collection. Users will be able to use the Freeloaders platform to claim their NFTs. And so this is not an official confirmation that the MELD Bank Manager NFTs are actually ready to be minted just yet, but it looks like the MELD team is getting quite close. And so in anticipation of that, they've released this tweet. Now, if you're not familiar with what or who Freeloaders is, I actually did take a second to kind of do a little bit of background research on them. And so here we can see that the Freeloaders DAO, or the LLC, is a coalition of 60 or more stake pools building directly on the Cardano blockchain. Now, this group or this coalition is going to be offering a ton of different services, again, for the Cardano blockchain. And so if I jump over into their website, we can actually take a look at some of the services that they currently offer. And so right now they offer Web3 token claims, parallel transactions, reward calculations by stake pool, one-click instant claim, whitelisting for airdrops, and the list goes on, right? So I think you guys can kind of get the point here. The Freeloaders team or the coalition will basically be using their services or providing their services to the MELD team in order to distribute the Bank Manager NFTs. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the Bank Manager NFTs before I wrap up this segment. And so taking a look at one of the articles that we actually saw get released by the MELD team, this was back in early April, or mid-April, I should say. The MELD team basically announced officially what the what the Bank Manager NFT would be. So here we have the very first bit of utility surrounding the Bank Manager. And as it states, the Bank Manager can be used for a discount on your loan interest rate at the time of creation of the loan. The Bank Manager will provide a 0.3% reduction in the interest rate and will only provide a reduction down to 0 if the interest rate is already at 0.3. This basically means that you're not going to be able to use a bank manager in order to take an interest-bearing loan and turn that into a yield-bearing loan. However, if your loan is 0.3%, your bank manager will basically cancel out that interest. Now, you will only be able to use one bank manager per loan, and these will not be stackable. And then the second bit of utility surrounding the bank manager NFTs is going to be the increased yield on variable staking. So if you hold a bank manager NFT, the bank manager can be used to increase the yield on the MELD variable staking protocol. It's going to increase the yield by 0.1%, and this yield increase will apply to all MELD tokens staked regardless of when they were staked in the pool. Now, scrolling down, the MELD team did also announce that they will not be evolving their bank managers as they originally intended to do so. It looks like in terms of development that it's going to probably add a little bit more overhead than is currently needed. The last thing I want to touch on here in regards to the MELD Bank Manager NFTs is going to be the announcement of the Golden Bank Managers. And so what we just got done discussing was the regular bank manager. And again, you only had to delegate for one or more epochs in order to be eligible to mint that. And I believe that the MELD team did confirm that those will be eligible for minting for a mint fee of 3 ADA. Now back to the Golden Bank Manager. It says here, additionally, we will be adding 10 special Golden Bank Manager NFTs that will give owners a full 1% discount on their loan interest rate. And so again, for this particular bank manager, I don't believe that you're going to have to delegate to the ISPO, but it does look like the MELD team does have a little bit of information to gather internally before they're ready to release more information about this particular NFT. I believe that that's going to wrap it up for the MELD update for now. I'll be keeping an eye out on the MELD project. As soon as they release the bank manager NFTs, I'll make sure to release a full dedicated video to that. And that's really going to wrap it up for that there. Now, there is one other bit of DeFi news that I want to quickly share with you guys, and that's going to be more or less about the growing Cardano ecosystem during this bear market. And so we're now seeing that a lot of projects are now finally being able to build without all of the noise and all of the hype of the bull market. And so jumping back here, what I wanted to show you guys here, and this is actually going to be a tweet coming from Cardano Daily. If you guys are not following them either, I highly recommend that you do that. They provide a lot of great content when it comes to the Cardano ecosystem. And so here we can see all of the DEXes currently building on the Cardano blockchain. And there's actually right now at least 16 different DEXes. Obviously, this particular diagram is not going to capture every single dApp that's currently building within the Cardano ecosystem because that's changing on a day-to-day basis. But in terms of some of the more notable projects here, we have the Wing Riders token or the Wing Riders DEX. I believe that's currently right now the biggest DEX on the Cardano blockchain. We also have the MinSwap DEX platform, as well as the Sunday Swap platform, which was one of the first AMM DEXes that we saw launch on the Cardano blockchain. Now, with that said, I did want to quickly talk a little bit about some of the TVL that's locked within some of these protocols or some of these DEXes. And right now, taking a look at the whole Cardano ecosystem, we are sitting at a 141 million total value locked in terms of USD. Now, we did see the total value lock hit a peak of about 420 million back in early April or late March. And since then, we've kind of seen that drop off a little bit. And so taking a look here again at the top DEXs, we have number one, Wing Riders, and they are currently sitting at a TVL of 50 million USD. We also have the MinSwap protocol coming in at number two with a total of 37 million USD in terms of total value locked. And then the third DEX is going to be Sunday Swap with a total value locked of 22 million USD. Now, taking a look at the other end of the spectrum, we do have some of these smaller DEXs here, such as Meow Swap, which currently has a total value locked of $84,000. And then one of the smaller ones is also ADAX Pro which that currently has about 10,000 USD in total value locked. And so I'm not here to judge. I think that any DEX platform building on the blockchain with TVL is great. Obviously, we want to get all of the DEXes to have, as much TVL locked in the protocols as possible, because that's going to help the Cardano ecosystem to grow. But for the conditions that we're currently facing, I think that this is awesome news to see. Now, there is one particular DEX that has yet to launch that I want to quickly highlight. And so because it has not launched yet, it's not listed here. And that is actually going to be the MELD protocol. So if you guys have not heard of MELD, they're going to be a research-driven Cardano DEX. And obviously, I'm not going to have a lot of time to cover everything that they plan to basically develop in this particular video, but I wanted to at least raise this to you guys. And so they're partnering up with the ADA handle standard, as well as the MELD protocol. MELD is the product that I just got done talking about with the Bank Manager NFTs. Now, scrolling down here, and one of the main reasons why I'm going to be keeping an eye out on the MELD platform is because of, number one, the programmable swaps. And so traditionally, or at least right now, we've seen that on most DEXs, you're only able to make a swap at the particular time without actually being able to set a limit for a buy or a sale. With the MELD protocol, they're going to be implementing programmable swaps, which will allow us to do that. They're also going to be allowing for us to invest in synthetic assets. Now, if you're not familiar with what a synthetic asset is, a synthetic asset is basically going to be another asset that's outside of the Cardano or the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And the synthetic asset is going to give you exposure to that particular asset without actually having to leave the Cardano ecosystem. And so again, this is just two of the main features that I'm going to be looking forward to when it comes to the MELD protocol. But I did want to quickly raise that to your guys' attention. And so that's really going to wrap it up there for DeFi news for today. And so next, I want to talk a little bit about the metaverse, and specifically the Cornucopias metaverse. And so if you guys are not familiar with Cornucopias, they are going to be a brand new metaverse launching on Cardano, building on Unreal Engine 5. And so without any further ado, let's quickly jump into their Twitter. And what I want to talk about here is going to be some of the updates that they've just announced in their latest Kopi Cafe episode. Now, if you've never heard of Kopi Cafe before, this is going to be a weekly series that they host with the two Cornucopias CEOs, Rob and Josh, in which they give the community updates about the development of the game. So in the latest Cornucopias Cafe, or the latest Kopi Cafe, which was episode number 14, Rob and Josh gave us some updates surrounding the Cornucopias NFT marketplace. So about a month ago, we saw the first NFT land sale take place on their NFT marketplace. And I actually have a whole series covering these in a lot of detail. And so I'll leave a link down in this description to those videos if you're interested in finding out more about the Cornucopias NFT land sale. Pivoting back to my main point about the NFT marketplace, we saw Rob and Josh basically announce that the Cornucopias team is currently working to integrate the use of the Cornucopias token in order to purchase NFTs directly on their platform. Now, they are expecting to get this done soon. However, they have not announced a specific date. And with that said, Rob basically mentioned that the main hurdle that they're facing right now when it comes to this integration is with the fact that they currently are on two different chains. And so right now, the Cornucopias token is not only listed on the Cardano blockchain, but it's also listed on the Binance or the BNB blockchain, excuse me. Now, Cornucopias launched on there initially, and they actually allowed people to stake their tokens directly on the BNB network. Since then, they migrated a portion of their tokens to the Cardano blockchain with the use of the Chainport bridge. And so now we have tokens in both the BNB chain as well as the Cardano ecosystem. And again, that's one of the main reasons why they're not going to be able to have this integration be as seamless as possible right now. And that's because they basically have to take into account the price of both of the tokens across the different ecosystems. And so until they have that done, I don't anticipate that we're going to see the integration of the Copi token directly in their marketplace. But I did want to raise that to you guys as a heads up, as for something that you guys can be looking forward to. All right, moving along, the Cornucopias team did also talk a little bit about some of staffing changes that they've recently made. And so the Copi team has added on a new financial analyst. I don't actually have a lot of information about this particular person, but based off of the information that Rob and Josh provided, they seem to be thoroughly vetted and competent for their position. Now, on top of that, I did want to also announce that Steve, aka Steve Corn Pops, who, if you guys have been in the Cornucopias Discord, should probably know by now, he has gone full time. And so, Steve, I want to say congratulations to you if you're watching this, but it's just another testament to how real the Cardano ecosystem is and how tangible it is to actually make this a career. And so, again, congratulations to Steve. And we are going to see Matt, who was the previous Discord admin, move on and take a new role within the Cornucopias project. And so, moving along, next, I want to talk about the tokenomics of the Cornucopias token. And Rob and Josh on the Copi Cafe basically mentioned that they are also having an additional expert review the existing Copi tokenomics. Now, the reason why they're doing this is to make sure that the Copi team has the right monetary policies in place in order for the game to last moving forward. This is not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. You know, we're aware that the Cornucopias team is trying to build a full-on metaverse with full in-game mechanics. And so with that said, I'm happy to see that the Cornucopias team is taking this very seriously and that they're having experts basically take a second look over their shoulders. But I did want to quickly highlight some of the basic tokenomics for their project. And so right now, the Cornucopias project will only ever have a total supply of 3.8 billion Copi tokens. Now, earlier I mentioned the fact that the Copi token is currently being distributed across two blockchains, the BNB blockchain as well as the Cardano blockchain. And so understanding that there will never be more than 3.8 billion tokens across both blockchains. It's not like the Cornucopias team will have 3.8 billion on one particular blockchain with another 3.8 billion on a separate. They're basically using the bridge to keep a one-to-one relationship with the total number of tokens that we're ever going to see traded. Now, on top of that, they did have a private sale, again, which occurred on the Binance blockchain, in which we saw 9% of their total token value or total token supply go out for sale. We also saw 24% go to the team and advisors. And then we're also going to be seeing 5% going towards partnerships. And then we also have some reserves and floating liquidity, which comes out to about 8% of the total Cornucopias token supply. Again, some of the abilities that you're going to have to actually use when it comes to the Copi token, you're going to be able to use this for play to earn. You're going to be able to use the Copi token to purchase NFTs of land, characters, and game assets, which we just got done talking about. You're also going to be able to use and stake the Copi token to earn rewards. And then the very last thing is that if you hold the Copi token, because it's going to be the governance token of the Cornucopias project, you're going to have some say when it comes to voting about the future works of the protocol. That's going to wrap it up for the tokenomics update surrounding the Copi project. Next, I want to talk about the mobile game for the Cornucopias project, which was just released, which was just announced a few weeks ago. So here, directly from their Twitter, we have an announcement which states that we have now started building out the new roles for rarities in order to begin setting up our test groups for the mobile game. First, we're opening up testing to Bubblejet OG custom holders who have the mythic and legendary rarities. If you're not aware, the Cornucopias NFTs have a total of 5 different rarities, and it looks like if you're an OG member, which is an exclusive club, if you hold the OG Bubblejet and you have the top 2 rarities, that you're going to get first dibs when it comes to testing the Cornucopias mobile game. Now, I'm not personally a OG member, and I don't hold the OG Bubble Jets just yet. However, the team did state that as the testing continues, that they do plan on opening it up to more people with more rarities. And so don't fret if you haven't gotten a mythic or a legendary Bubble Jet. Not many people do. That was stiff competition, but it does look like the Cornucopias team does have everything ready in order to begin the testing of their mobile game. Now, while I was watching the Kopi Cafe, Rob did mention that they've now officially confirmed the first batch of testers. On top of that, they're now working to finalize the onboarding process, in which they're going to have an AMA directly on their Discord. And so when this particular AMA is going to take place, Rob and Josh and the rest of the Cornucopias team are going to give you guys an update on how to actually download the game. However, they were clear that they're not going to share any footage of the game in the AMA because they want this experience to be a full-on experience, and they want people to actually be able to give their first thoughts when they download the game for themselves. And so I couldn't agree with that more, but I am extremely excited to see exactly how the Cornucopias mobile game is going to look. And if I am able to get my hands on it, I will make sure to live stream and actually show you guys some footage of me testing it out. Now, moving along here, I do want to quickly talk about the custom domes. And that was actually the last item that was covered in the Kopi Cafe. And so last month, we saw the first NFT land sale, in which we saw 24,000 custom theme zones go up for sale. Now, on the heels of that, we're now going to be looking forward to another NFT sale for the Cornucopias custom domes. Now, if you're not familiar with what the custom domes are, these are going to be player customizable dome environments that do not need any coding in order to have them built out. And so here it says that the player land owner is going to be able to design the custom dome environment. Let me actually share my screen for you guys. It says here that the player land owner is going to be able to design the custom dome environment using a no-code system and build its entire content using a combination of templates and land building tools. Now, the Cornucopias team did give us a preview of their land building tools, which again I have covered in a separate video, but that really gave me the vibes of The Sims. Very user-friendly, very straightforward, and you didn't really have to be a crypto expert in order to be able to use that. So I am happy to hear that this is going to be a no-code, low-effort solution, and that's really going to help for a lot of the general population to be able to partake within the custom dome environment. Now here it says, as well as being standalone, the custom domes can be used to extend commercial buildings and experiences within the city. Custom domes can be used by a single player or by hundreds, yes, hundreds, with the option to size events and sell tickets as well as merchandise. On top of that, Rob and Josh did confirm that there will be the ability to play games with other members directly from within your dome. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a huge update for the Cornucopias project. Now, with that said, they have not announced a set date for when they plan on minting the domes, and they also have not given out a set supply, unlike what we saw with the custom theme zones, again, which we have 24,000 of those NFTs. So as we get more details about the custom domes, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. But I did want to quickly say here that you can use these for PvP or player versus player games. You can use them for esports, nightclub experiences, theater and stage experiences, festivals, and the list goes on. So again, there's going to be a lot of value within these particular NFTs. And so if you have not gotten a chance to check out the custom dome NFTs, I highly recommend that you do that. Now, with that said, that's going to wrap it up for the Cornucopias project updates. Again, I do want to quickly highlight that the Cornucopias wiki has now been officially released. This is going to be a living document that's going to have all of the information surrounding the Cornucopias project. I'll leave a link to that in the description below if you're interested in accessing that. But I highly recommend that you check out the Cornucopias project because they do have a lot going on. The last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up today's video is going to be the JPG.store marketplace, and we actually saw them launch a brand new NFT minting update. And on top of that, there's other updates that I want to discuss. And so without any further ado, let's jump into their Twitter and see exactly what they have going on. All right, so here we can see that the Cornucopias, the JPG.store team made an announcement. This was actually yesterday about their brand new NFT mint. And so this mint actually took place on today, which is Thursday, July 14th at 6 p.m. UTC. Now I want to make a few notes here about this particular mint. I did try to participate. However, it was pushed back about 3 different times. Now, I do want to be clear here. I'm not giving the JPG.store team any flack. This was clearly stated to be a test mint, and they clearly stated in terms of expectations that there was going to be issues. This was exactly the point of the mint. And so I'm not really too bothered about the fact that this was delayed. And the team did confirm that they actually were able to resolve their bugs. And so at the time of shooting this video, the mint has completed, but I want to take you guys through a few of the things that I noticed about the mint and some of the updates that you guys can expect moving forward when it comes to minting using the JPEG marketplace directly. And so here, I'm going to jump into the actual JPG.store platform. And if you've never been there before, you can access it by going to JPG.store. And I've actually already searched for the JPEG collection, which is listed here, JPEG's Chonky Hippo. And as we can see, it is verified. Now, with that said, we saw a total of 2,500 NFTs go up for minting earlier today. And again, this was all completely free. Of the 2,500 NFTs, those have all sold out. And right now they're sitting at 974 owners of the NFTs with a floor price of about 67 ADA. So not a bad deal if you're able to snag 1 or 2 of these. And right now they're sitting at a total traded volume of about 82,000 ADA. Now, when it comes to the actual minting process, you were only able to mint 2 NFTs with 2 NFTs per transaction with a total of 5 NFTs. And so in order to actually have minted all 5 NFTs, you would have had to have 3 separate transactions. I hope that that's clear. Now, moving back over here into the actual collection, if I jump into the items here, I want to show you guys what the actual NFTs look like. So there were 4 different variations. What we're looking at here, which is probably the cheapest NFT, or the most common, I should say, is listed here. But then as I start to scroll down, or let me actually change this to high to low, we're going to see some animated GIFs. And so we have this one here that's animated, and then we also have this one here that's animated, and both of those were a little bit more rare than the others. But again, these were completely free and these were test NFTs. And so it'll be interesting to see exactly how much these are worth in the future. But right now we can see that some very, I would say, I don't want to say naive, but some folks are expecting to potentially make a lot of ADA from these NFTs. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep it at that. All right, moving back over into the minting tab. This is going to be a brand new tab here. And so what this was a test of the ability to mint directly from the JPG.store marketplace. And so we've never seen this before, but this is going to be huge for brand new projects that don't have the ability to actually outsource and go to a third party for their minting process. Now, because the mint is closed, there's no information here about the minting phases. I'll try to see if I can maybe get a screenshot added here. But what we saw earlier was 3 phases. The first phase was for the whitelist of the JPG.store team members themselves. We also saw an additional whitelist for day 1 users of the JPG.store platform. And then the third phase was the actual public mint. Again, all 3 of those were completely free, but we're no longer able to see those phases because the mint has closed. Now here on the right hand side where it now says browse collection, when the mint was live, this was actually where we could connect our wallet and where we could dictate how many NFTs we wanted to purchase, at which point we could then confirm and sign our transaction in order to receive our newly minted NFTs. So that's going to wrap that up for the JPG.store NFT minting update. But that's not it for JPG.store. They have made a few other updates that I want to quickly discuss with you guys. And so the next update I want to talk about here are going to be NFT offers. And so right now, or at least before this update was released, the only way that we could make trades on the JPG.store platform was to basically list something for a particular price, and then somebody else would have to buy that at that set price. There was no way for a buyer to potentially pitch an offer to a seller. Well, that's now officially changed with offers. And so it says here, offers are officially here. Want an NFT that isn't for sale or is just priced too high? You can now send the seller an offer for that NFT. And if it's not up for sale, you can still send them an offer. And if that person chooses to accept it, you can purchase that NFT. Now, by making an offer, you'll be sending your ADA to our smart contract. You can also modify or cancel your offer at any time. And there's additional information about how this works, which I'll link to down in the description below. So another huge update here for the JPG.store team. Now that's not all. There's two more updates and then we're going to wrap up today's video. The next update is surrounding the notification center within JPG.store. And so again, another feature, right? So this just goes to show how much building is going on during the bear market. Here it says, never miss a sale or offer again with our built-in real-time notification center. You're now going to be able to see all of your notifications without connecting your email. And this is going to be for Ledger users. And so previously you were able to tie your email in order to receive notifications when some sort of action occurred on JPG.store or with your account on JPG.store. And now they've basically built that in directly into the marketplace. And so you no longer have to use your email, and you can now receive notifications when it comes to sales, buys, offers, etc. directly on their marketplace. The last thing I want to mention here is going to be a pretty huge update in terms of fraud detection. And so here it states an additional security measure was added to the JPG.store website just to make sure that users like yourself and I are now extra safe. We have integrated with Argust NFT, a third-party API algorithm that detects fake NFTs. Now, I had actually not heard of Argust NFT prior to this announcement, but I did jump into their Twitter to find out a little bit more about what exactly they provide. And so Argust is going to be an artificial or an AI protocol that's going to be comprised of two different components. Now, both of these components are to assist with fraud detection within the NFT space, which I probably don't have to mention, but you guys are aware is extremely rampant, especially within the CNFT space. So I'm excited to see this particular update, and I'm really hopeful that it brings a lot of new features and functionality to prevent fraud within the ecosystem. So taking a look here at the Argust NFT website, or at least their Medium article, it says here that the Argust AI protocol is comprised of two components. The first is going to be the artificial intelligence models to identify whether or not NFT images are copies of previously minted NFTs. And then the second component is going to be a custom machine learning model that assesses images, similarity, and other data to fine-tune Argust's determination and achieve the highest levels of accuracy possible. So this is basically fine-tuning the algorithm to be able to dictate artificial, NFTs that have already been minted in the past. Now here, I do want to quickly highlight two more things. It says that in the coming months, the Argust NFT team will be building and launching Aegis. Or Aegis, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now, Aegis is going to be an image registration and notification service built on top of Argust. And so this is going to enable NFT owners and project owners, as well as collectors, the ability to protect their assets in the future with the Argust platform. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly are they going to do that? Well, once you register your images with Aegis, stakeholders will basically be able to receive notifications anytime a copy of whatever NFT that you uploaded to the Aegis platform has been identified as floating out there somewhere within the blockchain ecosystem. Now, these particular types of notifications include a timestamp when the registered image, or excuse me, of when they registered their particular images with Aegis. They're also going to get a timestamp of when the mint or the fake or the fraud was also minted. And then they're going to get some information about what blockchain the copy NFT was minted on, as well as some additional instructions as to how they can protect their original assets. And so this is going to be huge for Argust NFT. If you're not already following them, definitely give them a look on Twitter. It does look like they are brand new to the space and they don't have a lot of followers just yet, but I'm not counting them out. As long as they're able to deliver solid features and solid software, I am all for expanding and making this particular ecosystem that much better. All right, I believe that that's going to be all of the information that I have for you guys in today's first video. Again, this is the very first installment of the Cardano Scoop, in which I aim to provide you guys with the latest installments of developments within the Cardano ecosystem. Now, if you guys have any projects that you guys would like for me to cover, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I am more than welcome or more than happy to take a look at new projects. Just give me a little bit of time to learn about them. But then on top of that, I do plan on having some new sections on this show. So the Cardano Scoop is going to be my very first new segment, but I do plan on adding some other features for you guys, such as live streams and other things that I just don't want to announce just yet. Now, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you found some benefit out of this content, definitely make sure to tap that like button. It's going to help to get this out to other viewers like yourself. I also ask that you can share, or if you can share this with others, that would be greatly appreciated. It's going to help my channel to grow here, and it's going to help me be able to help you guys as well. And that's really going to be it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in for the very first episode of the Cardano Scoop. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.